hopefully this is the last video that you have to watch, and hopefully it will go fast. And if it's going too fast, then you can slow the video down. You can pause it, you can stop it, rewind it, whatever. With this problem, when Simon runs, he takes 0.9 meter steps. This is the skill that we were talking about where we have to get this important information. So 0.9 meters each step. Underline that on your paper. He is running on a track that is 2,700 meters long. Underline that. And then after 10 minutes, he has taken 1,000 steps. So we are going to figure out how many steps he has to take in order to do it and how long it will take. So first, let's figure out the number of steps. That's supposed to be an S, steps. So to do the number of steps, we are going to take our total distance and divide it by how big each step was, which we know was 0.9. This is the dividing skill that we had in the last video, so we don't want the decimal, so we move it over twice. So we would really do 27,000 divided by 9. 9 can go into 27 3 times, so that means that he would have to take 3,000 steps. Now the question asks, how much longer must Simon run? So let's figure out how many steps he needs. So he needs to take 3,000 steps. And it says it took him in 10 minutes. He went 1,000 steps. So how many steps would be left? If he needs to go 3,000, he's gone 1,000. He would have 2,000 steps. Had that many left. So if it takes 10 minutes to go 1,000 steps, he will take him 20 more minutes. So he has left to run 20 more minutes. Okay, next one. A jumping ant named Nils can jump 40 times its own length. A jumping ant is about 2 centimeters long. In order to jump back to its ant nest, it must travel 3,200 meters. How many hops will it take to get back to the nest? So going through, let's underline our important information. It can jump 40 times its own length. It is this long in length, and the total distance he needs to travel is that far. And our question is asking how many hops will it take to get back to the nest. So 40 times its own length, and I know that its length is 2 centimeters, so I can do 40 times by 2, which is 80 centimeters per jump. That's pretty good for a little tiny ant. And we want to know how many jumps it will take to get back to this many. Now, what do you notice about centimeters versus meters? Our answer either needs to be all in centimeters or all in meters. And I will pick centimeters. So I know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So if we had the 3,200 plus 2 more zeros to make it into a centimeter, and then divide it by 80, we'll find out how many hops it's going to take or how many jumps. So first thing that I can see is we can cancel out these zeros that are here. And then 8 goes into those things. So 8 goes into 32 4 times. So we're done with that one. And then we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So 4,000 hops to return or to get back to the nest. Okay, next one. Again, you can pause this if you need to. Before doing this, I had to do a little bit of translating. So Lika has 2.2 kilograms of jord. and she's going to plant 12 flowers and needs 5.5 hectograms of soil for each pot. And then there's one flower in each pot. So how many more hectograms of Jord does Lika have to buy? Okay, so how I would do this is in two parts. So first I'm going to figure out how much she has. And I'm going to figure it out in hectograms. So again, if we did the King Henry does usually drink chocolate milk, hectograms are right here and kilograms are right there. So if she has 2.2 kilograms, that's the same thing as saying 22 hectograms of soil. So that's the first part I would do. The next part I would do is I would figure out how much she needs. She wants to plant 12 flowers, and each one is going to need 5.5 hectograms of soil. So we would just multiply those. And I'm going to use the place value thing that I did in the first video. So I have 1 decimal place, and I'm going to do, I'll do 55 times by 12. So 2 times 5 is 10. That's 11. Timesing by 10 now, right here. So we'd have 10, right? And then 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. Add those up. And we get 0, 6, 6. And then we put this 1 decimal place back in. That's 66 hectograms that she still needs, or that she needs altogether, but she already had 22. So that means she needs 44 more hectograms of Jord. Okay. So here we go. More problems. These are all just very helpful. Okay, so at the store, Felicia bought a fillet of salmon that weighed 1,200 grams. If the salmon cost 80 krona per kilogram, and she paid with 2 femtilapp, how much change did she receive? So the first thing that I can see is that we have 120 grams, and we had this per kilogram. And I have some big red flags going off in my head saying, hey, kilogram versus gram. We need to change something here. So we can either, and if this costs per kilogram, I'm going to change this. I'm going to say that 1,200 grams is the same thing as 1.2 kilograms. Because now it's in kilograms, and all I have to do now is times it by 80. So I'm going to count the decimal places, and then I'm going to go like this. So 12, because we moved the decimal, times by 80. If I put the 0 at the end there, it means that I can just keep the 0 right there. Then 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 plus 1 is 9. So it's 9. And then move the decimal back over. Move it back over. So she would pay 96 kroner. But the question asks, she paid with 2 of those. So that would give us 100. 100 minus 96. She would get back 4 kroner back, or in change. So 4 kroner in change. 4 kroner in change. Next one. There are 150 different bicycle parking racks in Uppsala. If each one can hold 200 bikes, how many bikes can be parked in our city? So that one, I would just simply multiply. So I would do 150 multiplied, looks like an I, by 200. And this is where I would use the skill that we learned where we can count the zeros. And I have 3 zeros. And then I can just do 15 times by 2 and add those 3 zeros back on. So 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 1 plus 2 is 3. So it would be 30 plus 3 more zeros. 1, 2, 3 bicycles. Wow. I don't think that's true, but it might be. Might be close. Mr. B sells chestnuts for 18 kroner and a bag of 3. He also sells kanelbullar for the same price as 2 chestnuts. He sells 9 bags of chestnuts and 17 kanelbullar. He must pay back his wife for the grocery bill, which costs 65 kroner. After he pays her back, how much does he keep? Let's go through and figure out everything that we're given, because sometimes it's the hardest part is just figuring out what you're given. So he has 18 kroner for a bag of 3. He also sells kanelbullar for the same price as 2 chestnuts. He sells 9 bags of chestnuts and 17 kanelbullar. And he must pay his wife back for the grocery bill, which costs 65 kroner. After he pays her back, how much does he keep? Now, if Mr. B is really doing that, I think he should give his wife all of that. Okay, but we're going to keep on going. So let's figure out the cost of 1 chestnut. Chestnut. If they are 18 kroner for 3 of them, that means that each one must cost 6 kroner. And we have kanelbullar. And it's the same as 2 of them. So 2 times by 6 would be 12 kroner. And he says that he sells 9, so that was just the cost of each thing. And he sells 9 of these, and 17 of these. So let's figure out how much that is. We would do 9 times 18 plus 17 times 12. I prefer rewriting them like this. So 9 times 8 is 72, and then that's going to be 9 plus 7 is 16. So 162 plus, and then 12 times 7 is 14, and then that's going to be a 3 placeholder, and then 17. So altogether that would be 402. So 162 plus 204. If we add those up, so 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 2 is 3. So that's how much he made. And then his wife had the grocery bill. And if she had the grocery bill that was 65, then over here I'm going to do 366 minus 65 means that he could keep if he didn't care about his relationship. Just kidding. 301 kroner. We're going to skip this page for now, this slide for now, and go on to these. Sarah has 3.6 kilograms of soil. She will plant 12 plants that need 5.5 hectograms per pot. How much more hectograms of soil does she need? If the soil costs that much per bag, how much will she spend? So going through and looking at what we have, 3.6, 12 plants, 5.5 per pot. We have our questions. So we have how much more, like how many more, we should change that to many. How many more hectograms of soil does she need? And then we also want to know how much will she spend. So here's my plan. I'm going to figure out how much soil she needs, subtract how much she has, and that's going to tell us how much more she needs, times it by 210. So how much she needs is 12 plants times by 5.5, and on another video we found out that that was 660. Moving the decimal over, that'd be 66. She has, if we move this decimal over, 36 hectograms, which leaves us with 30 more, times by 210 would be 6,300 kroner. and she would buy 30 more hectograms. Turns out I need one more video.